Tell you this, you can probably see that sun radiating off my face. A bit of good news for folks, because that sun means a warm up, which means the ice is going to melt. But that doesn't really do much if you don't have power. As you mentioned, thousands of folks without power. Livonia, the city of Livonia, stepping up to help their residents with this rec center, which is serving as a warming center. Stopped by and I spoke to a couple folks here on the end of the emergency preparedness team, as well as those using the facility. Take a listen.
We've been preparing for this. We have our Emergency Operations Center. All our city services did an outstanding job last night as far as getting out there to deal with the power lines and the fires that occurred.
To date, over 500,000 DTE customers across southeast Michigan lost power during yesterday's significant icy windstorm. Downed trees, power lines, icy roads, overall dangerous conditions, together leaving people still without power hours later. People like Bill Stewart, who lives here in Livonia, and he's seeking warm shelter at the rec center, a place his caregiver Carolyn says she learned was open after making several calls.
Because the city of Livonia, they have a lot of elderly people, and he can't stay in that house. And then it's supposed to be much colder tomorrow than it is today. We're happy to have this resource and everything, and he'll be safe.
According to reps at DTE, power outages and destruction were so severe, they're estimating it could take an additional few days to get full power restored. The hope is, they say, 95% of customers will have power by Sunday, but no guarantees on that, especially when you're talking about restoring over 3,000 downed lines. All the more reason warming shelters like this one in Livonia, equipped with a generator for emergency purposes, are so important.
We do have restroom facilities in our locker rooms for them to use, and Livonia residents do need to be in by 8 o'clock tonight, so you can call our front desk here, which we will have staff for.
While the center is closed for classes and usual activities, it's open for other things.
We won't have the equipment open. The basketball courts might be used for warming your sleeping space, just depending upon how many people are there. And that's one of those wild card numbers that we don't know until 8 o'clock how many people are going to be here.
Livonia's emergency preparedness team has stayed on top of things here, clearing streets and sidewalks to ensure DTE crews can do their job with as little interference as possible.
Let DTE come out and do their thing so they can get everybody restored, so we can keep the emergency services available for those that potentially need it.
Right now, they say, patience. That's what officials are calling for.
There's a lot of people without power, so we're all in the same boat, so to speak.
Yeah, so needless to say, the fact of the matter is, even though this rec center is open, for the most part, they don't have power that's generating the whole facility, just enough to keep folks warm. I stepped in there not too long ago, you guys, and there are folks charging their phone. There are some families with young kids there under blankets. I actually saw Bill in there, and he looks really nice and cozy. So good on the city of Livonia for opening up this warming shelter. And I'll tell you, various facilities throughout the Metro Detroit area have done the same. So you can log on to Fox2Detroit.com. You can get that information there. But I will tell you, they close at 8. So you want to be here if you're a city resident by 8 p.m. so they can get a head count to figure out who they need to bring in to keep the facility open 24/7 if need be. I'll toss it back to you guys.
Yeah, Liz, obviously when people are dealing with medical issues and they're elderly, this cold weather, for most of us is just an inconvenience, and you feel a little chilly. It can be so much worse for so many.
Yeah, Rube, good point. Carolyn, who is Bill's caretaker, you heard from her in the package. She said his house is at like 56 degrees right now. 56 degrees inside. When you go outside and you feel that wind, which I do right now, kind of battling on your face, it's not fun. So good to know that they have a safe, warm place that they can come to for free, no questions asked.
We are so glad.